What's up, guys? I wanted to make a quick video tonight. I think this subject is very important, and uh, what I'm going to talk about tonight, I can back it up with real documents. I'm not going to ever share something that I don't know to be a fact or just give my opinion on something. I think that's stupid, and I think a lot of people are doing that. And I think that it's also very irresponsible of all these people that are, making all these volcano videos, and they don't have any idea what the fuck they're talking about. And what's even worse is that these U.S. GS updates, they should be USBS for U.S. bullshit survey because they're not telling anybody anything. You know what I mean? I mean, we could figure that shit out by watching the camera. Okay? I've been on this island for 45 years. Got here in 1973. Have watched all lava flows, basically all the bad ones. My mother lives over there in that area, and she recently, along with my younger sister, had to evacuate. So this affects me. It affects everybody actually, because they're putting out. I mean, our economy is getting smashed right now, but it's very important to know that this is not a natural disaster. Okay, in fact, I really don't even believe in natural disasters anymore because of the research that I've done and that I know to be fact. Because I read the documents, so I see it. And there's no difference here. What I'm about to tell you about this volcano, not only is it kind of common sense when you think about it, but it's fact. I read because this stuff comes to me really fast. Things come to me very fast. I get pictures of it in my mind really fast. So I know, but not only that, I don't just go on that. I know that everything they do is documented. They have to document. That's their game. Okay, everything is documented. You just have to find it. So when I get a vision like that, I look for the documents, and I find the documents every time, and I put it out. And probably most people think, this guy's a fucking lunatic, and that's par for the course when you talk about some of this stuff. It is fucking crazy, and I get that, but the truth is crazy. I'm not crazy, okay? It's time to start waking up to what's happening. There's a lot of evil in this world, unfortunately, has been for a long time, and it's coming to a head right now because the powers that be are going to be the powers that were. And they're fighting like hell right now. They're ramping it up. But it's time that we evolve. It's time that people start knowing the truth, and we start, you know what I mean? We're going to figure it out. But it's very important that people know what's happening, because that's the only way we stop it, is by knowledge. Knowledge is power, okay? If evil things, happen, I want to use Mauna Kea for instance. That Mauna Kea situation, even though they don't play fair and they cheat and they hired their own judge to make this recent decision, but you saw when they're going ahead, when it first all happened, you saw that everybody pulled together, everybody got on the same page, and everybody blocked it, and it worked for that time. It stopped it right in its tracks, and that can happen with everything, okay? But you have to know what's happening. If you don't know what's happening, there's no way you can fight it. Knowledge is power. Okay? I also want to say that every single news paper, news radio, news channel, they're all owned and controlled by the same people that control the world. There's 13 families that do that. The head of that, the ones on the top is the Rothschild family, and then goes Rockefeller, and then there's the Queen of England, there's the Vatican. I mean, these are the shadow government. That's where the real power is. Okay, that's why Trump gets attacked so much. Every single thing they can find on him, they're trying to attack him with it. Stupid shit. But all you got to do is look at what he's doing. Look at what he's done in his progress. He's doing a fucking good job. He's not perfect, but he's way better than anybody else has, because he's not paid off. He can't be bought. Okay? That's a fact. He's trying to save our ass, and he's doing a job. Okay? this I'm getting off subject, but I just want to make a point. The wall that he wants to put up and all that has, you know, and people mock him, oh, the Mexicans, they can just go dig under and whatever. It has nothing to do with that. He's a very smart man, and he knows what's happening. He's trying to save our country, our freedom, our sovereignty as a country, okay? Because the powers that be want to have a one world government, okay, with open borders, okay? The North American Union, which they already put in place, is Canada, Mexico, and the United States. One country. In fact, all these other countries, they already have their ID, their global ID. We don't have it yet. But that's what they're trying to do. He's trying to stop that. It has nothing to do with a fucking Mexican going, people going underneath the fence or flying, you know, whatever they do. It has nothing to do with that. He's trying to protect our country, our sovereignty. Realize that. It's called the North American Union, the NAU. Okay? Now, you know what Brexit just happened too, which was the European Union, the EU. Okay? They combined all those countries, all those European countries into one country. Made them have like one currency, and everybody was starting to go into poverty. I mean, it was bad. It's still bad. But those people said, you know what, we don't want no more of this. And they voted out of it. They voted out that Brexit was to exit out of the EU. Okay? They're trying to make the North American Union, and Trump's saying, no way. Okay? So I'm just telling you, don't believe me, anything I say. Please look it up. That's all I'm trying to be here. I'm not trying to be smart or you know, to try to think I know something. I'm not trying to do anything, and I don't want you to believe what I say. Please look it up, though. You owe it to yourself, and you owe it to your children. Please look it up. Okay? This stuff is for me to even make video. It's like unwanted attention. Okay? It gives a lot of ridicule, and I get attacked all the time, but it's worth it. It's par for the course. I accept the consequences because it is that important. Your life is important. My life is important. My children, your children. I love everybody. I love, you know, I love humanity, and I want to see this shit stop. Okay? And it's common sense almost to understand this. Okay? Fracking over on this island is banned. It's banned. There's no, we don't have any natural gas or any renewable bullshit that they're trying to sell you. That's a fraud. There's nothing clean about fracking or geothermal. Now, that shit has been banned since '93. The council voted for that 9-0. Okay? It's banned, and they're still doing it. Now, how did they get away with that? Is they changed the words. Okay? They're going to say that fracking and geothermal is different. It's not different. It's the fucking same thing. Exactly the same thing. There's no difference. They're going to tell you that fracking is it uses fluid and sand, and they drill into the rock, and then they fill it up with these chemicals and whatever. And that geothermal just uses air and drilling it with air. That is a fraud. Okay? Bullshit. They fraud air and mud. The mud is the chemical. That's what they mix in there. Or, you know, drilling lubricant, whatever. It's all the same shit. There's no difference between fracking and geothermal. Geothermal fracking is fracking. Okay? I've lived on this island, like I said, since 1973. It's 45 years or something like now. Okay? I know how this island has changed. Kona used to be beautiful skies every day. Beautiful sunshine. And they started fracking, which is I think they started in 81. As soon as they started doing that, we started getting that black fucking cloud coming over the hill, over the island, over Kona, just sitting on top of Kaloko every day. We've had that blackness every day. We never used to have that. The volcano, most of the time, isn't going off every day, but we get that black shit every day because they're fracking. That's what they're doing. Okay? So what they have done in Puna, and they've done this on purpose, is they frack the hell out of the earth, out of the place. So that's why you're getting those. It's a nightmare over there. It's a fucking nightmare. Okay? But what they're doing is all those channels and fissures are from fracking. Look it up. Okay? They don't just appear, they're not just some part of the volcano. They are done from fracking. Okay? When you frack, you crack. Okay? So those cracks are opening up. It's from fracking. They're cracking them. They're shooting, drilling and shooting chemical into the rocks, and it cracks. Those are fissures. That's what happens. So that gives the lava a place to run, so they can run it and steer it wherever they want. They're doing that. That's why you can see this lava flow different than anything we've ever seen. This lava flow is different than anything we've ever seen. It's because they're doing it on purpose and they're steering it, and it's going right where they want it to go. In some places in a straight line. That never happens. There's no such thing as straight lines in nature. It isn't. So what they're doing is that they got all these fissures and all these patterns of where they want the lava flow, and they're bombing it, or they're using explosives in the volcano at the vent. And what that does is that makes the explosion. That's why you see the big plumes. We've never seen the big plumes like that. That's not how volcanoes are. They don't give that kind of pyro, that explosive plume. They give steam. Steam in those plumes. Those plumes are dark brown. Those are explosives, okay? I don't care what you say. Those are explosives. And those plumes are from explosives. And what that does is it pushes the lava through the channels. That's what they're doing, okay? Now, not only, this is not my opinion. It's documented. They've been bombing this island since the 30s, okay? There's documents that I have that says that in the 80s, when Mauna Loa started erupting, they dropped 36 bombs on Mauna Loa. 36 heavy atomic style bombs, like 2,000-pound bombs. They're bombing it 36 times. And then you had Mauna Loa start flowing. These people don't give a shit. And I have the documents. They're doing the same thing. Oh, right now they have all this lava glass, like Pelly's hair, and there's glass everywhere. My mom said her house is covered with it. Read the document, okay? It tells you that when they bomb it, that causes that glass to come out and go everywhere, and the ash. That's what happens. That's a direct result. And then they're telling you, oh, we're going to cool off the wells. What they're going to do to stop the fissures and whatever is they're going to flood them with water to cool it down. You know what happens when you do that? When water hits lava, it explodes. Okay? It causes a reaction. That's why those fissures are going off crazy, because they're jamming fluid into that, and it's causing that stuff. Okay, in 2014, when they had all these methane explosions, you notice they don't use watch the terminology they use. In 2014, they were talking about methane explosions all the time. You heard that, methane. Okay, now you don't hear that now. Okay, the methane explosions was caused by them fracking underneath, and then that gas would get released, which they say that they don't release any gas. They're full of shit. Fracking and geothermal is the dirtiest, worst thing for our planet that there is, basically. Nothing clean and nothing renewable about that. It's a fraud. So and then they said that those explosions were caused from methane, which was caused by the lava running over the trees and the bushes, which caused the methane explosion. That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. And also, that's the first time in the history of all volcanism, or whatever that trait is called, that science, that fake science, has ever been used. Okay? It's the first time ever they used that. The methane was caused by running over the lava hitting the bushes. Get real. Okay? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. It's caused by the methane gas from fracking. That's what those were called. But now you don't hear that no more. You don't hear nothing about what the PGV is doing. Oh, don't worry, the PGV is secure. It's okay. Well, there's no threat. They're the ones that started all this shit. Okay? And these people that call themselves volcanologists or the USGS, it should be called USBS, because these people are as dumb as dirt, and all they're doing is kicking the can down the road and telling you no information. Oh, this this is doing this, and it's reached at this point right now, and it's this. They don't tell you any science or why it's doing it, and they act dumb, like, oh, we don't know what it's going to do. It might explode again. They do know what the fuck they're doing, because they're the ones that are causing. They're the ones that have been involved in this experiments for a long time with bombing and shit. They're part of it. They're controlled by the same people write their paychecks. Okay, this organization is a geological survey and whatever, and the Volcano Visitor, you know, whatever, on Mauna Kea or whatever. Those agencies are owned by the same people. They work for them, so they're gonna push that story and whatever they want. That's their job. They're not very educated. They're stupid as fuck actually, and they're just kicking the can down the road. And that's why you don't have real people asking them questions. If I went up and asked them questions, they wouldn't like it. Okay, so they have these handpicked reporters and whatever call in on a radio show every couple of days to give updates, and they're just ridiculous. If you hear them, they're asking all the same question. Just to follow up on what you just said, I'm sorry, I just came. Can you explain more about that? You know, more about nothing. They're getting you nothing. They're learning nothing. It's a fraud. Okay, they're bombing it and pushing that lava out by bombing the vent. Okay, that's what they're doing. Look it up. What happens? Google. What happens when you nuke a volcano? Okay, you'll find the answers. Okay, do a little research. I promise you, you'll find it. You'll find everything I'm talking about, and the results of doing that and what you're seeing in Puna, exactly the same. Okay, it's common sense. This volcano has never acted like this before. It's never looked like a. It looks like an absolute nightmare, like the end of the world scenario down there in that part of the island. That's what it looks like. You've never seen it like this before. It's because why do you think that they kick people out of the area and they have no fly zone and whatever? Because they don't want you to see what they're doing. It's very obvious what they're doing. Okay, why do you think the military is all involved in all that shit? They never was involved before. Okay, they don't want you to go in the area because they don't want you to see what's happening. Okay. And trust me, they invent a lot of stories to go along and keep their narrative. You know, they'll invent that everybody's looting and whatever. You know, they'll invent most of that shit. It might happen a little bit, but not as much as they say it does. In order to get what they want, they'll create a story. They'll create a problem. Trust me, that's what they do. It's called the Heligan dialect. Look it up. Please, my friends. This stuff is terrible. And their goal is to try to crack the Hilani slump. There's a slump, a flank, this part of that area, and they're trying to crack that off. I know it sounds crazy, but please look it up. That's what they're doing. There's a video I want you guys to watch. It's on YouTube. It's called Crack in the World. It's called Crack in the World. It's an old movie, maybe made in the I want to say maybe in the 70s. It's called Crack in the World. Look it up. It tells you exactly what they're doing. Okay, I promise you. Also look up in Kilauea, and like on the Google the maps or whatever. Look up the Devil's Throat. It's a hole that they have over there by the volcano, and I believe that hole is what is one of the places where they're dropping in the explosives. The other areas they're just bombing the vent. Now I have witnesses that seen this personally. They told me in 2014 they saw it. They live over in that area and they saw an aircraft fly over and shoot a missile or something into the volcano. They saw it their own eyes. Okay? So, and the documents prove it. And their explanations of why shit happens, they don't give any explanations for why what happens. They need to start answering real questions and start answering to people, because people lost their property. They don't have any homes. This is fucked up. Okay, and they want more destruction. They're not going to stop. They're just going to keep on. Okay, and it will stop when we stop it, when we say that's enough. But if we don't know, we don't have knowledge, then they can get away with anything. Trust me, I'm not here to try to pull your leg or anything. I care about this. My family is affected, and your family will be. Our economy is being affected. You notice how much they're hyping this story in the mainland to try to kill our economy? Killing our economy is their goal. It's called sustainable development. Sustainable economy is part of that. You know what is sustainable economy? Suppressed. Sustainable. Okay? Because their goal is depopulation, these crazy nuts. It's called Agenda 2030. Please look it up. But and it's AKA it's sustainable development. Sustainable development is way more than just how you develop like infrastructure or something. It's sustainable for your whole life. It's control over your whole life, where you can live, what you can eat. You know what I mean? It's taking, it's conservation. It's a wildfire project. It's the Blue Zone project. It's so many things. It's everything. Okay, and you need to know it. because, man, the future that they want for us is not good. It's not good. Okay, this is vital. I've been at this for a while to try to spread this information. I'm not a whistleblower. I'm not giving you anything. I don't know any top secrets of nothing. I just study what's out there. This information is out there, but they know that most people ain't gonna read it because everybody's too busy with 9 to 5 and, you know, paying the bills. I get that. I get that. But my friends, our lives depend on it. Our livelihoods depend on this. You owe it to yourself and to your children, to your family, to look this stuff up, what I'm telling you. Don't believe me. Like I said, I don't want anybody to believe me. I don't believe anybody else. I study the stuff so I know it myself. That's why I'm not afraid to talk about stuff, and I'm not afraid to debate somebody, because I know the knowledge myself, because I researched it myself. I can back myself up. Okay? I love everyone. I love this island, and I love all the people. But and I know a lot of the people are probably listening to me right now are probably saying I'm crazy or whatever. It's okay. It's all right. Whatever you think of me is okay. Okay. But I'm doing this for you too. Okay. So as crazy as I am, just please take the time to look up what I'm telling you. It's kind of almost common sense, like I said. It's all there. Okay. And a lot of things that people think is, why would they do that? They wouldn't do that. You have to understand, you and I wouldn't do that, but these people would, if you want to call them people. But it's way beyond that. Trust me on that. Okay, they're not like you and me, so they will do that. They don't have empathy. They don't care. They're a whole different breed. Okay, trust me. I'm not telling you anything that's not true. Promise you that. Okay, I took the time. I studied. I've many hundreds of hours studying. That's what I do. Okay, and this goes back way back a long time with me. Okay, but it's my purpose. Okay, everything happens for a reason. But anyway, I'm rambling on, but I hope that somebody got something out of this message. Even if one person listened to this and get some out of it, then I did my job. Okay, but I'm not trying to tell you to believe anything I say. Please do the research. You owe it to yourself. Good night and aloha.